Okay, I'll speak English. I grew up in this. My parents were very, very involved. There were always meetings, there were always trips, and it was part of our childhood. There was an exhibition at V10 some years ago speaking about this period, and they had the newsletters that used to come from England every week about what's happening with something. And I saw them, I said, oh, I remember those. They were all over. We had them, there were always more news and more things that needed to be done and demonstrations. And very much part of how we grew up, not only in the family, but Jewish Stockholm was very influenced by all the activities. I was part of Bnei Akiva. All the youth movements had the posters, Habonim, Bnei Akiva, all the Swedish youth movements, they all had the posters to let my people go. And I remember a seminar sometime in the winter, well, actually, yes, it must have been in the winter, Bnei Akiva seminar, and we were told that somebody was going to come who had just been to Russia, and one of the madrichim was considerably older than me, came directly from a trip from the Soviet to the Soviet Union to the seminar, and told the kids what he had seen, and we were 14, 15. It made a huge impression. I remember us singing Am Yisrael Chai, and being very conscious of here we are in freedom, and they're on the other side, and they don't have the privileges that we have. So that was the childhood, our childhood. At some point I went on one trip with my mother. Stockholm was the embassy was very involved with sending people. At that point we also went on a cruise. My mother and I got up on the boat, and it took my mother about 4 seconds to spot the KGB agent who was assigned to us. There was a big group of Jews on this boat, but we of course didn't talk to the others. And there was a man who was an Iranian refugee who had moved to Sweden, and he was assigned to us, and he was everywhere. Wherever we went, he was, he walked after us. This cruise ship took about 2,000 people, and there was 1,000 staff. We were watched all the time, constantly. At some point, I don't know if you remember this, Mama, we walked through a lobby and there was a TV on, and the TV was on and it broadcasted something about Israel. And so, as we know, we're always used to, we both stopped to look what is going on in Israel, and we saw all the KGB people watching us, watching this. So that was the whole. That was the way it was the whole trip. We didn't have to make our own coats. We were given coats with pockets, and we were told to wear white clothes, and we had, under our white clothes, we had a vest with pockets in which we it was mostly Sidurim, Chumashim, and some Hebrew language books. We managed to get them out. I found tonight, when I looked, I found this book, this is my address book from them.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's the addresses, the places we were supposed to go are in code. I don't understand now what I wrote, but I remember the people, so I know this is it. We managed to get the stuff that we needed to get to the people we were assigned to. It was amazing to meet people who had such a hard time being Jewish, and they sacrificed so much, willing to sacrifice so much. But when we got back to the boat, one of the evenings we were patted down, and they found one of the vests. But it was an empty vest at that point. We were taken, I went to one room, my mother was interrogated somewhere else. They interrogated us for a few hours, but there was really nothing. I mean, we had weird clothes, that's what we had, so they let us go.
There's another Noomi, Noomi Ruth, Noomi Ruth, Albert is your name.